Hiya. Today's video is in response to a request by Captain Sasa. I hope you pronounce it that way. It was S-A-S-A, asking for a video about setting up the M50 with the Zhiyun or Zhiyun Weebil S. So this video we're going to take it all the way from them being separate components to all being built up, what lead you need, what settings I use, etc. If you're new, I'm called Adrian. I make videos about the Zhiyun Weebil S and the Canon M50. I also make videos about alternative, safe, natural and effective ways to maintain and improve your mental and physical health and well-being. And if you're interested in that subject, you can take a look. I'll put a link to those videos now in the card above. If you've not already subscribed, click on the subscribe button now and the bell icon so YouTube can keep you advised or notified when we release new content. First things first, you need to make sure you have the right lead. I struggled a little bit with this. There was a couple of leads which seems to fit, but the one you need, actually as an aside, if you like these are like the Think Tank red whips. They're awesome. First saw them on Peter McKinnon channel and had a look at them, thought that's easy, I'll make my own. So on the card there, if you want to have a look, simple to make. So the cable you need, it's the USB to micro USB, or sorry, micro USB to micro USB, model Z or ZW-micro-002. Now once you got that sorted out, then you need to get everything put together. So you want to put the batteries in the gimbal, they go just in there. And then you need to put the camera on the gimbal. Now, rather than go through that again, I've already done a video about how to balance the gimbal with the Canon M50 particularly, although it works for any camera. I'm going to go ahead and play that now. If you've already watched that and you want to skip forward, I'll put on the time code here the bit you can scrub to or scrub forwards to for the next bit. So when your gimbal arrives, it's normally locked off like this, which is fine. There's a procedure you put it into, or a position rather you put it into, in order to mount the camera on it. So slide the little red tab on that arm and then put it back up, that locks it there. And this one, slide it and lock it. So now it's ready to mount the camera. Okay, so before you get started, let's just talk about what we're actually trying to achieve here. So in the camera, there's a point which there's perfect balance, and you could balance it, I suppose, on your fingertip really, and that's what you're looking to achieve on the gimbal. Now it's going to be affected by several things. If you have the screen open, that'll change it. If you have your lens in and out open, that will change it. If you have your cap on, that will change the balance point. If you have a small lens like this 22mm, the balance point is going to move further back towards the camera body. A longer lens like this would move it further that way, and a heavier lens like this 50mm with a Viltrox speed booster on it, that will move it further forwards as well. And obviously a telephoto one, that will also affect it. So what we have to do on the gimbal is to find that center balance point. The motors will take care of it, but the more balance you have it, the less stress there is on the motors, the less jump it could get, and the longer the battery life's going to be, because the motors have to do less work to maintain it in position. Right, so the first thing you want to do is to put the bottom plate on. Now on a small lens like this, I don't think it makes much difference where it is. If you had a very big heavy lens, you want this mounted as far forward as you can. All right, so that's that one. So the next one is a quick release plate, and again on a big heavy lens you mount this further forwards. On a smaller lens you can mount it further back. So we're using the kit lens on this. And I was going to say that once you do this a few times you'll actually be able to do it very quickly, but for some reason today I'm finding this particularly fiddly. Now if you have a longer lens, you can slide this up to support. Actually, it doesn't even touch it on here, as you can see. So let's get this now onto 15. I'll pop that off, and we'll get the screen out. Now you're also going to want to plug the cable in when you come to balance it. By the way, if you want these are red whips, they're awesome for cable ties. You can buy them, or if you click on the card on the top left, I'll show you how to make your own. They're really easy and very cheap to make. So let's put these lenses out of the way. Right, so first thing to do is press that in. Got the mounting lugs there. Lock it on. You can just screw it on there. The cable in the top there. goes in there. And I normally just bob this around the front out of the way. So you've got 4 axes or 4 things you're going to adjust. The first one is this plane back and forth. So the lever here, slide that back, and that frees this up. So the first thing to do is open that up so the camera swings. You'll see if the weight's at the front, it tilts forwards. If the weight's all the way to the back, it tilts slightly back. The reason it's not going further back is this one needs adjusting as well. So for now, and what I find is best is tiny, tiny movements. So that looks about right for that one. Now adjusting this one, you undo it, and I tried originally to push it up from the base. I didn't find that worked very well. What I found works much better is to rotate the camera 90 degrees and just gradually push it back until it stays in position. So I'll keep going. It's only small movements once you start to get close to it. Right, so let's just have a look at that, nip it up gently. Now if you've done it right, the camera pretty much will stay. Right, so now let's just move this. Okay, so we've gone too high now, so the camera's doing that. So let's lower this back a bit. That's definitely too low. As you can see there, that's gone a little too high. So it looks like it's a little nose heavy now, so now we'll move it back a bit. So the camera stays there, stays there. Okay, so we've got that. So just lock that off and nip this up. So we should be all good to go. Now, for this next one, you're now going to adjust this angle. So you now undo that and you point the camera upwards. So you can see now the camera's far to the right. So we're going to slide the base to the left. Just lock that off and see if that's right. So you can see you can actually have the camera in all sorts of positions and it stays fine. So again, you can just slide that all the way to locked. So that's locked, that's locked, that's locked. So we're most of the way there now. The final one is this one. Well, this one's a little different in as much as you're going to unset it, and I find it best to hold the camera there. And you can see that it's dropping that way, so this needs to come more to the front. So again, small movements, and you'll notice on all of these there's numbers. You can make a note of all these number positions so that the next time you use the camera with this setup, you can put it straight back to it and it'll be much faster for you. So what you're looking for is the camera to do that. So it's going to stay in that plane there. So that's now fully balanced, and you can turn it on. And away you go. That would apply to pretty much every camera and every gimbal. It's a similar sort of setup. They'll have different methods of doing this. I particularly like this because you can lock it in position before, when you put the camera on. The previous crane I had, the previous Zhiyun I had before was the Crane 2, and that was a little more tricky to balance because it was all kind of flopping around as you did it. And then yeah, just lock it off when you finish to take the camera off. There you go. Unscrew. Make sure that you unplug one of these cables when you take the camera off. And this quick release place is great, I find, because you can take it off then and get on and take other photos. If you had a different lens, you have to rebalance it again. But it's really straightforward, and with practice you get faster and faster at doing this. The first time I did it probably took me about 45 minutes because I wanted to figure everything out. Now it's certainly less than 5 minutes a time. So you'll want to power the gimbal on. So once you have it balanced, press and hold the power button for a couple of seconds, and that should power on. Now mine's already connected to the camera, but you would connect it by pressing on the settings, down onto camera, right click on Canon, and now you can control the aperture, right click to control the speed or the shutter speed, your ISO and your white balance. To record, press the button. To stop recording, press again. So press on the bottom and you want to go down to wheel, right click, then down to function, right click, down to e-focus, right click, and then you can left click to get back out. And remembering I had to set the lens to manual focus. When you turn the thumb wheel now, you can see with the focus peaking, we're in focus. So these are the motor settings I use. Click down for settings, right for motor. Level I have set to low. And then custom, I found that 16, 16 and 28 work. I could probably drop them lower. But with these settings I have no buzzing. Couple of things, if you find these leads get a little loose, I noticed this one had just now, you can gently and very gently just pinch the lead together like you can with any USB lead. Just be gentle and that should lock it in place fine. I've done videos on deadband, smooth, speed, and I'll put a playlist here that you can watch. Also the 7 modes, things like pan, follow and lock, and how you use them and what they actually do, and also what the different settings do. And you also want to watch the ones that show you how to lock off the controls. So if you go ahead and work through that playlist, that should give you pretty much answers to everything. If I've missed anything in the comments below, let me know and I'll get to that. Okay, I hope you found that helpful and useful. If you liked the video, give it the thumbs up please. If you didn't, give it the thumbs down. If you haven't already subscribed, click on the subscribe button and the bell icon. In the comments section, let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to make. And we're done. So I will see you in the next video. See ya!